Hey there folks, welcome back to another video. This is going to be a quick one. I just wanted to share my thoughts on something that came to my attention just a few days ago, but I didn't really start thinking about it until I just watched a video of Nightwing 01s or K-Wing 01s of Netflix doing a sort of deal with WB Discovery and getting the rights to do the Snyderverse. This is something I've seen a couple of days ago. I seen somebody comment it, and I didn't think much of it, but after hearing or watching his video, I think that this is a really, really cool idea. Now, I gotta say that I gotta be safe doing DC videos because the last one, a lot of people were not too happy with the things that I said. Even though I think that the things that I said in the video were quite mild, and I didn't say anything too crazy. However, people are nuts, and they had an issue with everything that I said. I have no issue with the Snyderverse. I love the Snyderverse in the sense that it's amazing to see all the DC characters up on the big screen and this and that, being able to see a Justice League movie, and technically you have two different ones to choose from, so that's really cool. I like Henry Cavill as Superman. I love Henry Cavill as Superman. I take it back. I love him as Superman. I love the Man of Steel movie. I love the soundtrack. I love a lot of things about it. I'm not the biggest fan of Batman, or Ben Affleck's Batman. I'm not the biggest fan of the rest of the things in the universe. But I like the idea of it. I love it because it exists and everybody else loves it. So, that's really cool. For me, it's not my DC universe. However, after watching Zack Snyder's Justice League when it came out, I had a much bigger affection for the universe. But my whole thing is that it's not really Zack Snyder's universe anymore. And even when it started, it really wasn't. They did Suicide Squad. They did Wonder Woman. And even just the things between Batman v Superman and Wonder Woman, there's things in the timeline that don't quite match up. There was miscommunication all the way back then. This is 2016, 2017, and there was miscommunication. You know what I'm saying? And we've had two different Suicide Squad movies, and one's technically a reboot, So this is where my issue starts to come in, is you have a lot of these things that don't mesh well. But if you want to consider just Zack Snyder's part of it, I have a lot of interest in that. So the idea of Netflix maybe getting the license to be able to do the Zack Snyder's Justice League and finish out his Justice League trilogy or whatever he wants to do, because I would assume that if they got the rights, they would try to squeeze a bit more out than just two movies. That would be my approach to it. If you have the rights to literally use Justice League, you should definitely try to go out with a bang instead of just two movies. But that's just maybe that's just my thoughts. But the idea of this happening and having two Justice Leagues simultaneously on screen, well, maybe not necessarily simultaneously, because it's going to take some time for the DCU to get started. But I think that this would be really cool. I'm personally one of the people that are open-minded to the DCU. I've heard some things that are a little bit questionable, and I've heard some things that I'm really on board for. But the idea of both of them being operational at the same time would be really, really cool. You get to see what James Gunn and the folks at WB Discovery are working on, which would be really cool, at least for me. And then on the other hand, you got Netflix working on Zack Snyder's universe. You got Zack Snyder and your guys' version of the Justice League, and I'll sure as hell be there watching it. I'm not going to say I'm not. But I think that would be extremely cool. You'll be able to kind of level out the fan base and try to make everybody happy. I think it's definitely worth a shot. And my whole thing is that if WB just goes the way that they're doing, then they're not making any extra money anyway. At least if they sell the rights off to do these movies, or license them out to do these movies, then at least they're getting somewhat of a big paycheck to at least help fund the DCU. Because I've heard some people in my previous video mention that DC was in the whole $50 billion, and I've since seen that more going around. So I didn't realize that was an issue before, but after now knowing that, and then this whole idea coming to mind, I think this is something that I would really love to see, and I think a lot of people would too. Even the people who are for the DCU, I think they would still be like, oh, it would be cool to see Zack Snyder's do this at the same time, So I'm all for it. You bring Henry Cavill back again. You try to get Ben Affleck to do it, because I've already mentioned that he doesn't even want to play Batman. But if it's Zack Snyder's in charge, then he probably will, because, he came back for the reshoots of Zack Snyder's Justice League. So I have high hopes for this. I hope that this comes true. I think it would be really, really cool. You know, it would try to get a lot of the DC fans on a level playing field, trying to have the fan base be less divided. I think that would be really cool. So those are my thoughts. If you guys share the same opinion, let me know down in the comments. If you don't, let me know. If you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe, notification bell. All that would be greatly appreciated if you choose to do so. And of course, until next time, true believers.